¿Cómo está? Está Bobbie con Buds por su vida. Está y muchas gracias para vivir. Bobbie Buds por su vida. Bobbie Buds for life. Y it's not work, it's fun. Con extraordinary gardener, Hardine. Bernie Dealand. Ride the planet with Dr. Philip T. Watchwell. And let's talk Wausau. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here, folks. And we haven't seen you in a little while. Well, we've been kind of busy, but it's summertime, and hence my flowers in my top. Oh, it's beautiful outside. It's hot, but it's one of the hottest times that we've had all over, actually, the United States in a long while. Well, in a while, let's put it like that. A lot of the other states are a lot hotter than we are here in Wisconsin. However, it's been humid, but that's okay. We love our seasons. We love our summer. So thank God it's summer. So anyway, thank you for watching us. We want to give a grand shout out to all the folks who helped get the studio ready for our grand opening a week or so ago. Lester, Paul, and that would be, let's see, Dennis, Ken. If I left anybody out regarding all of you guys, I apologize. Okay, it'll come to me. Of course, our beloved cameraman, Andy, Bernie, Barbara, everybody who helped put this together. Gosh, there's just everybody, okay? So, Robbie, Betty, Amy, everybody. So, at any rate, thank you so much. It was a grand success. It was our pleasure, and we will be doing it again in the future. I'll be letting you know. We've got some other things going on regarding a concert that the VFW asked us to do. That would be, I believe, either at the end of the summer or towards the holidays. Sometimes anywhere between, like, say, August to November, possibly. When it's still kind of, you know, not really real cold outside. Snow and icy blizzard and all that. I'll try to stay away from that, okay? So anyway, thank you again for everybody's participation in that. And thank you, we want to say again, give a grand shout out to the veterans who we have been honoring lately. And through our meet and greets and through whatever else, you know, situation arises that we meet, people have honored us for the work that we've done helping the veterans. And believe me, it's been our pleasure. So thank you again to our veterans, to every single one of you, to all the folks who contributed to that and who can constantly contribute to that. And once again, like we all have learned over our lives, folks, freedom is not free. So thanks again to the veterans. Along with the summer heat comes, of course, taking care of ourselves in the sun. Now, we have alluded to this. I myself particularly have alluded to this off and on. And I believe the last time I did talk, no, actually I didn't talk about skincare in the sun, but we do that periodically. And actually you can take the knowledge that you have for summertime and actually carry it on to spring, fall, even some days of winter, not totally the sun, of course, because it's so cold out. But we still do have sun that comes through, even the snow. Sometimes. So anyway, this is all about skincare and everything in our lives, health-wise, particularly, folks, comes and starts from the inside and shows on the outside. If we don't do the right things on the inside, it's not going to be always good on the outside. Also, okay, so it starts actually with being aware of the fact that when we are born, we are about at least 85% water. Yes, liquid. That is true. And the thing is, the minute we're born, that's when we start to actually age. Yes, believe it or not. Some folks say, oh, but, you know, they're babies, and, you know, we are, of course. That's how we start out in life. And, however, the minute we start, we're born into this world, we're born into the elements, and, you know, it's the elements all around us. Things have changed so much regarding the elements. Our climate is changing, our planet is changing, they say, everything. global warming, etc. Whether you believe in that totally or not, you know, that's completely your choice. However, there are examples of it really all over the United States, all over the world, that things are changing, okay? Weather's changing for a state that has never seen snow. You know, like for instance, Texas. In Texas, they don't really have hardly any snow from what I understand. However, we have a relative now that lives there and has experienced the ice storms in Texas. Texas doesn't have seasonal snow as we do. However, they do have ice storms, which are most like winter, okay? So they have now the ice storms and hail. My gosh, the hail, we're told, is phenomenal, the size of it, some of it, and actually all over. If you watch the news, if you watch the international weather, the local weather, etc., you're going to hear about this. Okay, so just getting back to the point, everything's changing, so you've got to be aware of that, all right? So starting with, pardon me, when we're born, of course, the water in our bodies, the 85% water liquid in our bodies, it starts depleting. So we want to start trying to remember, especially the older that we get, folks, for a whole bunch of reasons. And actually, sometimes, and folks, there are a lot of folks who do not like to try and replenish this to the standard that they say we need to replenish the water in our body. So it starts with being aware of the fact that we need to put water back that is coming out of our body from the inside, and of course it shows on the outside. And a lot of sun is wonderful. It's great. The color's great. It feels great. It makes you feel alive and young and vibrant, etc. However, you have to watch it. Watch being in the sun. Some folks are just naturally, they brown tint really easy like that. It doesn't show. It shows on their skin, however, not leathery like some folks get. Myself, I have to make sure I have enough liquid, enough water before I go out in the sun, as well as the fact that I always put a really good moisturizer on my skin, and then I put sunblock on. Now that's another thing. I was watching, actually, Dr. Oz, which I really don't hardly ever get a chance to watch too much anymore. However, at this date, I did. I caught him, and he was talking about sunblock. And there were women on there, actually just women, were the ones that he talked to, that used sunblock, and they only started at 15 SPF, or sun protection factor of 15. And then it went on from 30, 50, all the way up actually to 70. I didn't even know they made a 70 SPF, but they do. I myself, if you can see right here in the camera, I have two kinds. And usually I have 30 right here. And I just you can get this this is Max Block sunscreen. They sell this a lot of places, particularly the the dollar stores or the dollar section of grocery stores, etc. So this is Max brand, and this is 30, okay, SPF, or sun protection factor. This I more or less use on my arms and my legs, okay, my neck, etc. However, the stronger, which is 50, which is the same thing, Max Block sunscreen lotion, 50, I use on my neck actually and my face, okay. And then I also, I use my regular moisturizer, which, yes, is Crisco. Used it for years. Swear by it. It naturally pH balances. If you haven't heard me say this before, I'm going to say it again. It naturally pH balances our skin, okay? And it softens, and no, it's not really greasy. Now, I assume, of course, if you get the liquid Crisco, it's oil, okay? It's going to be really, really greasy. However, the cold pressed is not, okay? So it's like everything you do, folks that we do in life. You really need to think about doing it in moderation, okay? So the Crisco, then I put on the way that you do it, the order that you put the sunscreen on with your moisturizer, etc., is completely up to you. Some folks don't even do it until they get into the sun. No, not myself. So at any rate, let's see, so it's first the Crisco, then I put the sunblock on. As I said, I do the lower SPF on my arms, and my legs, and back of my neck, etc. And then I do the higher on my face, okay? Then I put on petroleum jelly, as petroleum jelly really does protect in the sun. A lot of folks say, okay, I'm going to do a dance. At any rate, a lot of folks say that it would clog up your skin. I don't know. We in our family have used it for many years on face, etc. And it doesn't. I don't know why. It just doesn't. So at any rate, but that's my preference. And, a lot of, also the other thing regarding the petroleum jelly would be Vaseline. Okay, it's also called Vaseline. I don't know. This one ingredient says white petroleum, USP. Now, I don't know about the Vaseline. I don't have a jar of Vaseline here, however. So again, that's my preference, okay? So that's then the petroleum jelly. Then I put olive oil on. Now, another thing regarding olive oil, it not only softens, but it also heals, okay? Another thing that you might want to think about putting on, folks, is the not only lemon, from the actual real lemon, and if you have sunspots, age spots, etc., putting lemon on your skin will actually take them away over time, okay? I don't know about this for myself, but my mother-in-law, yes, she was in a very, very famous, in California, very famous restaurant lounge. She was everything. She was the hostess, the waitress at times, but it was very, very famous. Many, many famous people came in and she met a lot of them. At any rate, her hands were in water all the time. And she told me years ago, she said, because I mentioned, the dryness of my hands, and we do have a bit of eczema, psoriasis in our family. However, we've seemed to have kept it at bay, as they say, with different things that we put on our hands. But I did ask her at this time, mention the dry skin on my hands. And she said, oh, I have the cure. And I said, well, what is that? And she said, lemon. And I said, lemon? And she said, lemon from the real lemon. Just, you can use the concentrated in the bottle. It's called real lemon juice, concentrate. I've used it at times when I didn't have a real lemon myself. It does work, however, the real lemon works best. And yeah, it does sting, but if you just put it on, don't wash it off. Wash it on your whole hand, the palms, excuse me, the palms and the tops of our hands, fronts of our hands, okay? So use that, and that will help smooth your skin, as well as it does get rid of the age spots. And she swore by it. She did it her whole life, and her hands were beautiful. They really were. But it's like anything else, again, you must do it consistently. You got to be consistent, and you should do it in moderation as well. Okay. Okay, so that's another thing you can put on your skin. Another thing, pardon me, that we've talked about over the years, off and on, many times in our shows, both myself and Master Gardner, I know for a fact, is the peanut oil. Peanut oil actually rejuvenates our joints. Now again, if you have sore, sprained, or any kind of muscle, unless, and of course, go to the doctor, do your regimen, do what you need to do, okay? And that's totally up to you folks. We never take your choice away here. All we ever do is suggest, okay? So you can, however, it will really, really, when you rub it on, it will rejuvenate the joints. It should heat up a little bit, get a little warm within maybe, say, 10 minutes after you rub it in your skin, okay, topically. I suppose you could take it, like a spoon of it, but I wouldn't suggest taking a whole bunch of it because it really seeps in there, okay? So it rejuvenates our joints, and again, if you have a sprained muscle, etc., you might want to try it. However, be liberal with it. Don't bathe in it or anything, but on the spot that it aches on, that it's sore on, give it a try, see what happens. And not only that, but also I was told, because I hurt my knees about 3 or 4 years ago now, and they really hurt. And one in particular, my right one, And I told this story many times. I walked into the store, grocery store, and Pick and Save, which again, shout out to Pick and Save. Thank you so much, John, Jerry, Lori, all of you guys. Phyllis, everybody, hi. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your participation. We so appreciate you. Anyway, I walked into Pick and Save, and I had one of those elastics on that knee, the right knee, because I was carrying too many things out of the trunk of the car into the house, and boom, I fell flat. I admit it, I did. And oh, it hurt, and I was limping, and so anyway, I put the elastic on. I don't know what I should call it, the wrap or whatever. It was elastic, and I walked into the store, and I saw a little lady on what I call a golf cart. Never seen her before in my life, never seen her since. And she said, "Oh, I know what to tell you to put on your knee to help get it better. It can even heal if you do it over a period of time." I said, "What's that?" So she told me about the peanut oil. She said it's a little pricey, and it is. However, these days it seems a lot of folks are using the peanut oil. It's also a great moisturizer. It really is. Plus the fact that it does rejuvenate our joints. So she said, put the peanut oil on, rub it on liberally, topically, as well as the olive oil. And because the peanut oil, again, rejuvenates the joints, and the olive oil heals. So, and she said, and put them on together, okay? And just do it over a period of time. Do it as many times a day as it hurts, I guess you would say, okay? If you choose to, if you so desire. And I said, "Oh, okay." And that was it. As I said, never saw her before, never saw her before that, never saw her after that. Okay, so I did it, and I did it constantly. And 3 or 4 years later now, I still do it, and it still works. So it's not a cure, not saying that. Again, we only just hear about things here on our shows, and we do research or not, try them or not, and report them to you folks or not, and then you make the choice. Okay, again, it's just a suggestion. Okay, so that's another thing you can put on your skin before going out in the sun. Yes, getting back to going out in the sun. That's the whole thing. And then, of course, very, very important, those UV rays, folks, are really tough on our eyes. So, sunglasses, okay? Just regular little sunglasses, yes. Sunglasses, that's it. Okay, any kind of sunglasses, but make sure that they are, oh gosh, this is UV 400, meets 280.3 general purpose of UV requirements. Okay, so we need our sunglasses to shade our eyes to protect them from the rays of the sun, as they are very, 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 very strong. And then also, you might think about a sun visor, you know, clothes like that. You don't get your whole hair, your whole head covered. And then some folks like to get sun on their hair as well, because it colors it, okay? Pardon me, the only thing is, you know, the top of your head is important to watch out regarding sunstroke, you know, and heat exhaustion. And I know of a couple of cases of heat exhaustion and sunstroke, and somebody snatched this person, boom, just like that, when they were waiting for a bus. Got to be too hot, they didn't have enough protection on, etc. And boom, the bus was coming, and the person just took them, saw them falling forward, and grabbed them and got them out of the way right away, just in the nick of time. And heat exhaustion, you know, the same thing. However, you know, you just have, it's just things to be aware of, because if we're not aware of something, then you can't do anything about it. Okay, so that's all this is, a tutorial, I guess you would say. All right, so all those things. Also, a big floppy hat. I have a lot of sun hats, a lot of different hats that I wear, and some are the straw hats, and they're big floppy. Some are visors. Some are regular baseball caps. Just depends on the day, and how I'm feeling, how much if I don't want the sun to be in my face, because believe me, too much sun on our face really ages. Okay, at any rate, so there's all of that, but really one of the most important things to watch out for as well, folks, is drinking water. I was alluding to that earlier in the conversation. And a lot of folks don't like the taste of water. I understand. I, for years and years and years, used to drink 8 glasses of water, maybe 6 to 8 if I was feeling tired or whatever, okay? But I did it for so many years that I got tired of it. So then I switched to drinking like 6 to 5 to 4. And it just depends on the person. You know, I gotta have it really cold now. And however, we drink so much aloe vera tea throughout our whole entire family, actually, and the aloe vera plant itself, that I don't know. We already get the water in the tea, so, and then I drink water on top of that. So folks that don't like the water, the taste of it, try the flavored waters. They have them even in the dollar stores where, you know, they're all different kinds of flavors. They're peach, they're lime, they're strawberry, they're blackberry, whatever, okay? See what they have and give them a try. It's $1 a bottle, or, you know, less. A lot of places, I'm sure, a lot less. So these are just, excuse me, FYI for your information, suggestions that we can do. And a couple other ones. Okay, now, being in the sun a long time, you know, you're outside, you've got all your protection on, you've got your sunscreen on, you've got your visor, your hat, your sunglasses, all of that, okay? Another thing you can do to cool yourself off is, particularly if you're not just sunbathing. Okay, now I'm talking about sunbathing, I'm also talking about going to some kind of event, some kind of sports event, a picnic, etc., where you have really, really long sun exposure, okay? Another thing you can do, they sell them lots of places, okay? They're just regular little spray bottles. You can buy even 3, if I get a shot of that, cameraman. You can even buy like 3 for $1, okay? It's just an empty, this is brand new, empty, clear spray bottle. And this actually was going to be used for traveling. However, we ended up not going. However, just the point is, if you do go traveling and they, you know, a lot of times the things that you carry in a spray bottle or some kind of bottle, I've heard in the airports they will throw it out. So they want to see, so here's the clear bottle. You can get them at a lot of places, as I said, the dollar part of a grocery store, etc., or a dollar store. So what you want to do, or what you can do, again, a suggestion, is now this is the aloe vera tea. This is one of the other bottles that was in that collection. And it's just a little bottle. And you can take, it and just dab it. And actually right here, and on the back, the nape or the back of our necks, makes you very cool. It will cool you off in an instant, okay? And you can do that with this kind of a bottle. You can also do it with a spray bottle. Oh, this is heavenly. When you're really, really hot, and it's a very, very hot day, and you've been outside a long time, and you're outside, or you come in from the outside, just put some aloe vera tea in this baby right here, this little spray bottle, and just spray it all over. You say, oh, make my makeup. No. Well, you know what? At that time, you've been out in the sun for a while, and the heat and the exposure to the sun, you know, it's already on your skin. So a little spritz, just a little spritz, not a, you know, shower, okay? Just a little spritz here and there. Ooh, that feels really, really good. And especially if you can, you know, if you've got a cooler and it's got a lot of ice in it, etc., stick it in there. Stick the aloe vera bottle and stick the little aloe vera spray bottle. Or just water, you know. Put it in your spray bottle. Carry it along with you in a little bag or your purse or whatever. And you will be amazed and surprised at how wonderful it makes you feel, okay? And you're still getting your water, okay? And of course, then drink the water, the aloe vera tea before you go out of the sun. But yeah, before you go into the sun, actually, at the house, is what I'm trying to say. And give that a try, as well as, folks, there are also sticks you can buy when you're out of the sun. And I only had part of one left. This is an aloe vera stick. You can apply it a lot of places. And just put that all on your face when you're out in the sun or not. And this will really cool you off. So, not really cool you off, but soften, okay? And the other thing that you can do for hand sanitizing is any kind of hand sanitizer, and this one particularly has aloe vera moisturizers in it. So thank you so much again to all the folks that have helped us again. We're going to be coming back into your homes in another week or a couple weeks or so. We so appreciate everybody's help, every single person. So, adios y hasta con 6 semanas. Y adiós, Alberto, Alejandro, Julián, familia. Gracias.